What's up, everyone? My name is Brandon Elliott with BrandonElliottInvestments.com. If you guys want to become a boss, definitely got to go, and you're going to want to check out the podcast Bossed to Bossed with my good friend Miro. There's nothing better out there. Go check it out right now.
Do you want to start a business, get out of the office, achieve happiness and success while crushing life? This is Boss to Boss, the place to be for that extra motivation to get up and follow your dreams while learning from the ones who have already done it. And now for your host, Miro Wieslow.
Welcome to Boss to Boss. Today's guest is the author of the book, Never Ask for Permission Again, a book where you can unlock strategies that lead women on the path of understanding who they are and how to walk in consistent love with what they uncover. She is the Chief Creative Director for the Logan Design Project. She is a #1 contributing writer for the #1 entrepreneurship magazine in San Diego, Life by Design. She enjoys fashion, fitness, food, family auctions, family functions, and being with sorority sisters. Currently, she's a contracts administrator for the Department of Defense, while also being a full-time entrepreneur. Logan Rena, it is a pleasure to have you on today. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me on. I am doing great. I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome. Yes, once I heard about you, I knew I wanted to have you on the show, and here we are. Here we are a week or two later, so that's amazing. Thanks for taking the time out.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so do you mind sharing something with our listeners, something we don't really know about you? So we know you work for the government currently, and at the same time, you're becoming a full-time entrepreneur as well. You have a book out. You've been featured in numerous publications. What else can we find out about you? Something you don't normally share.
I would say that all of this didn't transpire until I was 25 years old. Pre-25, I thought life was about hanging out with friends, going on trips, throwing house parties, being a socialite. And then I lost my mom. So they really, really woke me up to this is serious. Your time is serious. Where you spend your time is serious. Who you surround yourself with is very serious. And she was a person who was a giver and a servant. And she just had a beautiful, beautiful heart. And I was like, I want to be like my mom. I never thought that this day would come where I would lose her. And I call her my affirmation specialist, because every day, anytime I talked to her, she was always, always affirming me. So when I lost that, I had to learn what affirmations look like for myself and actually how to walk in those affirmations. It's one thing to say them over and over, but to believe them in the core of your heart is something totally different. So that's something that people might not know about me. But the reason why I started my journey as an entrepreneur for sure is that loss and that pain, and turning all that pain into a passion that I clearly cannot give up. I have not walked away from it since. So.
Yeah, I can see that, and especially following you on on Facebook recently, I can definitely see that. Did you know though, that enough is enough? Like I'm going for it. I want to do something. Like what did that whole situation kind of lit the fire under you? But did you know what you were gonna do? Like, did you have any idea?
I did not. I had no idea. I knew that my first name means creativity. So I knew that it was something that I was always supposed to do as far as being creative, because I have a clothing line and coffee mugs, and everything on there has affirmations on it. So that was pretty easy. The business side of it, no idea. But I did know that I had to set my life up so that I'm able to leave the federal government, because full time I work for the federal government.
Yes.
And so for any of the listeners out there that are going back and forth, I think Lisa Nichols called it a parallelpreneur. You have both feet in the door. And I would suggest setting up your life the way you want it to look. So my hobbies, me visiting family members, hanging out with friends is very important to me. So I was like, in order to do all these things for the entire year, the best thing to do is look at your year. This is going to cost me an additional $10,000. How can I generate this money outside of what I'm already making, what money I'm already keeping. Like actually like setting aside, I have to do this many speaking engagements. I have to do this many seminars. I need to sell this many packages so that I have the revenue to do these things. So if you want, if you're on the other side of this microphone and you're thinking like this is enough and I'm ready to do different things with my life, I would say sit down, write out what are some things that you want to do and go backwards is my suggestion.
Okay. So what was it that led you to writing a book, I guess? Like, did you, and kind of starting up your own brand, with everything you got going on? I guess what pushed you towards that specific spectrum?
It was my healing. Writing the book started off as a healing for me. And then I realized that there is a gap. The book is entitled Never Ask for Permission Again. And a lot of women, do you know that a lot of women ask for permission all the time before we do something?
Yeah, and I think it's very sad. I'm all about the movement. I'm all about the movement of not having to ask for permission for women. And I couldn't agree more. And that's why it's actually something I'm trying to do a lot more with my show. I want to bring on as many, female entrepreneurs as possible, because I don't see why the story should be different. I don't. I think that both are just as prominent, and I think the stories need to be heard as well.
I agree. Yeah. And the book is basically saying stop asking, start executing. And I'm asking women to go back, because a lot of times it was somebody that said something, a teacher, a parent, a boyfriend, and it just snatched away our confidence, right? So instead of us putting on the dress, we asked 10 people, does this look cute on me? Do you think I should wear this? Do you think I should date him? Do you think I should move to California? We're always looking for affirmation and confirmation outside ourselves. And the truth is, it's tucked inside of us. But in order to get there, it has to be a level of wholeness, self-acceptance, and self-love. If you don't start from that place, you'll always look outside of yourself for confirmation. So I'll walk the ladies through strategies on how to start with self-love as your first play. If I love myself, then I can sit and make a sound decision on what is the next best move for my life. So yeah, that's what the book is about.
Do you feel being a female in the entrepreneur space has made it harder or easier for you to crack into it?
Because there's so many boss women.
Really?
It's not so hard. It's really not so hard. And if you stand there in confidence, knowing who you are, then you can float in any room. So even if I'm in a room with all males, I'm a woman, so of course I don't mind that. But it's being in those conversations and having confidence in what it is that you're talking about. If you're just standing there making stuff up, then there's no, certainty. But if you know what you're talking about and you show up in confidence, you'll be just fine.
Then how can someone go about achieving that confidence? Because it's not always easy. I talk to some females and they say that, sometimes they just feel, I guess when they're the only female in the room, or, 2 out of the 100, which, and it's, unfortunately that still happens, to this day. How do you get that confidence in situations like that? Like, what do you do? What works for you, would you say?
I would say first thing to do is to find out who you are, and I could say, get you a mantra, Mine's is, I'm great enough. So before I open my mouth, before I walk into the room, before I have a conversation, I'm great enough. Before I submit the email, before I pitch myself for a show, whatever, I'm great enough. You have to have something that you stand on. I'm a wealth generator. I'm created for this. I'm purposed for this. I'm anointed for this. Whatever that thing is, you might need to say it in your head right before you start talking, because it gives you that confidence again. And you might have to do it every circle you walk to. It doesn't work just one time. You can do it in the bathroom before you go in, before you start a conversation, before you get on the phone call, every single time. I'm great. I'm great enough. I was born to be here. Like some type of mantra that you can continue reminding yourself of. Continue.
Okay. No, I think that's a great way. And that doesn't have to be just for female entrepreneurs. That could really be for anybody. Just because
definitely.
I feel confidence and that it's just something that we all deal with at all times. And to this day, here I am. Still, I love speaking. I love doing podcasts. I love talking in front of people. But we all run into moments. I like that. I like that tip a lot. I like that. I appreciate that. I think the listeners will like that as well.
Thank you.
Would you say there had to be a mistake, right, or two you made along the way?
Yeah.
Is there one
mistakes with 12 S's behind it?
Is
For
there,
sure, my
is there
number
one?
one.
Yeah, is there one that kind of had to happen? For you to get to where you're at right now with your whole brand and your book and everything. Like, what was the main one that was a trigger that you had to go through?
For sure, the financial piece. A lot of times we think, oh, it'll be fine as long as I just keep, generating more money, everything is okay. No, it's not true. The best thing to do is learn how to not, because I'm a master at making money. Keeping and growing money is an entire different conversation. So currently I'm going to Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University. I have my sister as my budget nista, just trying to keep me on track. I have a plan, so I'm able to exit in 1 to 3 years. So right now I'm learning financial peace as far as, really maximizing the money and being a good steward. A lot of times we're not good stewards of our money. So that's something I'm learning currently, and how to grow my money. I want to make it, I want to keep it, and I want to grow it. So for the listeners, you want to set yourself up so that you are a wealth generator. And the best way is, of course, keeping and growing your money that you make.
Mm-hmm. So did you sort of like get screwed or something at a point? Do you feel like that something happened that, like, do you feel that you just kind of tried going at it alone initially, or what do you think it was?
Definitely alone, definitely thinking I'm I'm not a financial guru at all. Mm-hmm. So I guess I would say I just wasn't a good steward with the money that I made in certain instances. It's not like I was out here buying jets and cars or anything like that. But every conference that came up, workshop that came up, and I look at that as an investment in myself. But it comes to a point where everything that you've been to, it's actually time to apply what you've learned. So you can't go from conference to conference to conference to conference, and you have all these notes and you haven't executed anything, but you've spent the money, or you have invested the money, but you haven't even had time to execute. So I think the wiser thing that I should have done was spaced out the number of conferences and workshops I went to so I can actually execute on my investment. So instead of spending the money to say that I was there, because if you're not doing anything with information, all you've done is said, I went, instead of executed on what it is that you learned. So my mistake was not stepping back and executing the things that I've learned and just swiping the card because I've made the money. But actually just taking the time to actually enjoy what it is that I've learned.
Yeah, actually go through with it and take action.
Yeah.
Right, at the end of the
Definitely.
day. It's funny because this was actually one of the big key points I had with a previous interviewee just recently. And it's crazy how important it is because we get so overflown with information nowadays. It's just everywhere. It's at our fingertips 24/7. But we got to ask ourselves, like, are we actually doing something about it?
Yeah.
Do you feel now that you're kind of at the point, like, eventually I would assume your long-term goal is to jump, kind of not anything against your job. I'm sure, you love it and you've been doing it for a while, but are you trying to get to a point where you can financially support yourself and then be able to go fully on just doing what you want to do?
Definitely. 200%. And that's why me doing this now with my 1 year plan and strategy to leave 1 to 3 years, I've given myself a little cushion. It's so funny because Wes Moore said something I love. He was like, I would rather flirt with failure than never dance with joy. And I was like, I want to dance with joy, Wes, and, my best is not attached to what I'm doing right now. So I'm setting myself up so that I can have exactly what it is that I want.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that quote. And then your quote on top of that quote was even better. So that was amazing. All right. I could see where the author comes in. I could definitely see it.
Oh, thank
Would
you.
you let's just say, so since you are giving us a different perspective than most of our interviewees that already have kind of jumped ships. A few of them are still doing work part-time, but you still have a full-time job at the same time you're being a full-time entrepreneur. And what kind of tip do you give to the listener that's debating whether this is for them? Can they sustain life on the other side? Is this for them? Because I'm sure you've experienced it hasn't been easy. None of it has.
Yeah.
You have some good advice for that listener that's maybe sitting there in their cubicle contemplating life right now?
I would say three things. So, of
Okay.
course, Gary Vee always talks about, when you leave the 9 to 5, you got to hit the pavement. You got to hit it running.
Mhm.
There really are no days off, honestly, especially if you already have a full-time job. Now, I'm very, very strong about, of course, taking that time and, relaxing and all this other stuff, getting back to who you really are. And but you have to hit the pavement running, especially if you're 9 to 5 and you're trying to leave that. You have to have something in place. The second thing I would say, for the next 3 months, only listen to podcasts like this, audio, CDs, MP3s, just so you can get in the mindset and you can ignite that fire in yourself every single day. Because it is hard to have a full-time job and be an entrepreneur. So you need some type of fire every day. A person I listen to all the time is Eric Thomas. Have you heard him?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah, Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, Lisa Nichols, anybody that's going to light my fire back up and energize me once again is so important. Instead of, listening to music on the way to work or, dropping off your kids or, you're driving, you're going out of town or something, try to replace that with things that are going to ignite your fire because you're going to need that. The last thing I would say is sit with people who are doing exactly what you want to do. Now, I don't know if anybody said this piece, but don't ask them for advice and don't ask them for anything. Literally just sit there. Like, let your heart, your mind, your soul get used to an abundance mindset. Like, let all of you get comfortable with this type of setting. Because a lot of times your body isn't used to it yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not used to hanging around millionaires. You're not used to hanging around people who've created, freedom for themselves. So let your body get used to that environment so your heart register with it. Because to me, your mind has to accept it, your heart has to receive it, and your soul has to keep it.
Mhm.
All those components have to get used to you being in that abundance mindset, that abundance environment. So I would say surround yourself with people that are already doing exactly what you want to do and just sit in that environment. Yeah.
Wow, that is great. I love those 3 tips. I'm sure our listeners will find those very, very useful. And especially the last one. I have been doing that, and I used to do it, and I still do it. And it's crazy. I never really thought about it. Though it's true. Once you start kind of just surrounding yourself or putting yourself in those places and spaces, and even if you don't talk, things do slowly start happening. It's
definitely.
It's pretty crazy how the world and how the mind and just how everything works out. If you put yourself in the right places, which we all could. I mean, there's always people out there that are willing to give out free info and willing to help out, and it's all about just getting out there and connecting and offering whatever you can to somebody else.
I agree.
All right. Well, now on to our listeners' favorite segment of the show.
Welcome to the round with no name because they're all taken.
We're coming up with the lightning round.
Yay!
So I hope you're excited. Hope you're braced. I will throw a few curveballs at you, so I hope you're ready. Get your thinking cap on.
Scary.
Yes, you. The rules are simple. You have 5 seconds to initiate an answer. We just want you to throw something out there quick without thinking about it too much. You could always elaborate later on. And otherwise, my producer, he gets mad at me. He comes down, and I better just not have to deal with him. So,
got it.
That being said, here we are. Your favorite book.
What I Know for Sure by Oprah Winfrey.
All right. That is a Boss to Boss exclusive, everybody. First time. First time. You're stranded on an island pretty much for the rest of your life. What is the one item you want with you?
TheraBreath. It's a mouthwash that has no alcohol. It's amazing in it. It's amazing.
What is it called?
TheraBreath.
Air breath?
TheraBreath. It's the only one that doesn't have alcohol in it because, alcohol
TheraBreath.
creates more bacteria in your mouth. This one does not.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm going to check this
Yeah.
out. TheraBreath.
It's amazing.
All right, all right.
It's going to take your relationship to another level.
Oh, all right. It's a bold statement. I love it. I'm going to try this thing out, and I'll get back to you about it. Who has been or is your greatest mentor?
My mother.
All right. That's always a great answer. Is entrepreneurism a fad?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay. We will not ask you to elaborate on that one at all.
Okay.
Later on. How do you drink your coffee?
With almond milk.
Okay. And is there a specific brand or coffee that you need to drink every day? Or one that you really like?
No, not a specific brand. No.
As long as it got almond milk. What kind of almond milk?
Organic.
Unsweetened or sweetened?
Sometimes I make my own.
Ooh, you make your own.
I make my own. Yeah.
Okay. I've been told to do that. That it's
Yeah,
without any of the additives and stuff because you pretty much make it
it's
fresh.
so easy. It's so easy. I promise.
Okay. I'll definitely need to do that soon. That being said, though, would you ever wear white socks with black shoes, or how do you feel about them?
Never. It's a disgrace.
Oh man, everybody's killing that answer. If you had an opportunity right now and you just had unlimited amount of money and you could start up any brand, any company, what would it be?
It would be a human trafficking nonprofit for sure.
Okay, that's an interesting answer. And then if there's one item you consume every day, it could be a food, drink, something you wear or put on you. What is it? What is the one thing that makes you different that you need with you every day?
If I could, I would eat a brownie every single day. It's my best friend.
Oh,
It's amazing.
That is,
And a good brownie.
What's a good brownie to you? Do you have a brand or something?
Ghirardelli. Is that how you pronounce the brand? Ghirardelli.
Ghirardelli, I think, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yep, I make them. So my brownie is absolutely amazing. So if I could eat my brownie that I made every day, it would be amazing.
So you buy the pre-mixed powder, right? And then you make it yourself, right?
Right. And then I throw some other things in it. I have a couple,
Okay.
tweaks.
All right. Well, if I ever come across you, next if we're ever doing anything, I'll have the coffee for you ready with the almond milk, and I hope that you would have the brownies.
Definitely. It's a deal.
All right, it's a deal. All right, I'm gonna remember this. I'm gonna mark this episode down forever, and just so you know. All right. Well, we survived. We're both still here. The lightning round is over, so you can breathe. Can you elaborate on entrepreneurism being a fad? You say yes or no?
Yeah. So I would say those who are ankle deep, who are just posting and telling people that they're entrepreneurs, it sounds really good. People are attracted to entrepreneurs, right?
Oh yeah.
So those people I call the ankle deep people, and they're just like getting their feet wet with entrepreneurship. The people that's waist deep, they're like, okay, now it's time to get some revenue coming in. If I'm going to be up all night, if I'm going to be sending all these emails, doing all these posts, I need some revenue coming in. The people who are chest deep are like, I only care about the bottom line. What is the net? What am I taking home? Now, those people are out of the fad stage. Those people phase. Those are people are the ones that are actually serious. So chest deep people, yeah, those people are not in the fad anymore.
Okay.
But the ankle deep, definitely still in the fad process.
Okay. I think that's a great way to look at it. And then the other question, you're saying with the company you would start up. You want to elaborate a little bit on that one?
On human trafficking?
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so there, of course, it's an issue and it's something that's looked over. Of course, it's ridiculous how many, kids are taken, and I think it's a really, really sad case. So Christine Kane already has she has the A21 campaign. So it would be something similar to that, or I would want to partner with her since it's already up and running. She actually has a race that's going around, a walk that's going around the entire world in October. That actually will be in San Diego that I plan to attend. So something similar to that, but definitely bringing awareness and making sure that we can get the kids. Like actually having police officers, FBI, marshals actually going in and getting the kids back that have been taken. Because this is going on and it's something that's ignored, but I don't think we should ignore it anymore.
All right. I love that. I've definitely heard a lot about it. Especially, I think, my current girlfriend, she did a whole master, like her final paper was all about it, about human trafficking. So I've definitely heard a few things. I think it's a great cause, and I love it. I'd love to hear more about it as well. So
definitely.
All right. Well, it's Logan Rena. It's been a pleasure having you on. Where could listeners find more of you? What's like the direct links to your Facebook and wherever else you're very present? Your website, perhaps?
Definitely. I am Logan Rena everywhere, and that's RENA, all across every single social media platform, loganrena.com. My book comes out October 4th entitled Never Ask for Permission Again. Ladies, you want your hand on this book because it's going to literally teach you how to snatch your permission slip back.
And be that boss woman you always wanted to be.
Yes, that's how you seal it right there.
All right. And then closing thoughts, anything you want to leave our listeners with as you go on?
I would say believe that whatever is for you is already done. You just have to accept that in your heart, in your mind, in your soul. Everything that is for you is already done. I want you to believe that.
All right. That's a great way to look at it. Short and sweet and right to the point. Perfect. All right, Logan, it's been a pleasure having you on. Really appreciate it. And we'll definitely be looking forward to talking with you. And hopefully maybe we could do a follow-up episode once your book is fully released. And, once your game plan is more, once you actually do leave, when you do take that next level, we're curious to hear, where you're at, how you're going to be doing.
Definitely. And I wouldn't mind sharing strategies on how to do their own book also.
Okay, perfect. Well, everybody check her out. That's Logan Rena, all over social media or loganrena.com. You'll find some very valuable info, and be sure to pick up that book. All right. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Thank you so much.
That is all for this episode of Boss to Boss. Your next step is to visit bosstoboss.com, where you will find proven techniques followed by professionals to help you make that next step. Again, that is boss2boss.com. And remember, the time is now.